Hello and welcome to Sound Bites. I'm Holly Whitfield for the Daily Memphian. I'm here with Cynthia Daniels, Memphis event strategist and founder of Memphis Black Restaurant Week. Hi, Cynthia.
Hey, Holly. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
This week, of course, we're going to talk about Memphis Black Restaurant Week, which started on Sunday, March 16th and goes on through Saturday, March 22nd.
Correct.
Then there's a food truck festival on Sunday at Tiger Lane.
Yeah.
Before we jump in and talk to Cynthia all about 10 years of Memphis Black Restaurant Week, I want to remind you, Sound Bites is a Daily Memphian's weekly dining podcast. Listen on WYXR Radio Thursdays at 11 a.m. Listen on iTunes, Spotify, or dailymemphian.com anytime. We have tons of episodes, back issues, if you will, you can listen to, so check those out. If you're listening on WYXR right now, up next you can hear the Sidebar podcast with Daily Memphian CEO Eric Barnes. But let's get started with Cynthia. Thank you again for being here. I know this is a busy week for you. You said you've already been on TV today,
Yes.
been on the radio, and had breakfast and lunch at participating restaurants.
Yes, I'm good and full. Yes.
Where did you go today?
So this morning I did breakfast at Biscuits and Jams. I had not been to their downtown location, so everything was delicious.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I had eggs, bacon, biscuits, everything. You can name it. Classic, right? Then I just had lunch at Mahogany River Terrace.
Okay.
The most beautiful view I've seen in the city from a restaurant. So I did the Cajun egg rolls there. Delicious.
Okay.
Yes.
I haven't been there yet. That's the restaurant on Mud Island now.
Yes. And again, the view is amazing. They have these beautiful windows that you can just look at the river out of. The decor inside is beautiful. They did a great place transforming it.
And they're open every day this week. Is that right?
They are. They're
Okay.
open Monday through Sunday, actually, every day, lunch and dinner.
So that's one of the things about Memphis Black Restaurant Week. Not only is it just a chance to remind us to support our local small businesses, our local Black-owned businesses. Every year you've done this for 10 years.
Yes.
But some restaurants do offer specials, extended hours, just to make it easier for people to get out and try them. So that's what it's about.
Yes.
Congrats on 10 years.
Thank you, Holly. It's been a crazy ride, but I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. So obviously the food is amazing, but more than that, why is this something that you keep organizing every year?
You know, to me, it's really important to have that emphasis on, like you said, those small businesses, minority-owned businesses. I think we've seen so many changes over the years, right? We've made it through the pandemic.
I know.
Now we've got inflation right on us. And so I think people don't think about those day-to-day expenses that restaurants have to go through on a smaller local level. And so we are helping to generate that revenue they need to sustain so they can stay open, so they can continually hire staff and make sure they stay afloat throughout the year.
That's so important. And I know you've got some big numbers on number of people that have gone out to support restaurants. Do you have that number and then economic impact?
So economic impact, I do know that one off the top of my head. $3 million has been spent over the past 9 years.
Wow.
And we really saw a bigger push when delivery apps were a thing, right?
Right.
So when people really during the pandemic started using Uber Eats more and DoorDash, you saw that influx of traffic. So we really are happy to have them on board. And then really the amount of people, we average, I think now about 80,000 people.
Go out.
The list has gotten so much bigger. You know, I usually have anywhere from 20 to 29 restaurants. So that's just a lot of people patronizing throughout the week. So it's really cool just to see that.
It's very impressive. And I know that other cities have similar weeks and maybe inspired by your work.
Yes. You know, I learned a lot about trademarking. You know, it did not happen in time, but Essence Magazine did a story on me back in 2017, my second year. So obviously my story inspired other people, which I think at the end of the day, it is about supporting restaurants. It's not about who gets the credit. I did this, I did that. You know, we're all here for the same purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many restaurants are participating this year?
So this year we have 20 restaurants participating. Biscuits and Jams, they have 2 locations.
Got it.
Yes.
And you have some I would say, classics.
Yeah.
Memphis favorites.
Yes.
What are a couple of those that have, maybe some that have been with you since the beginning?
So definitely the four-way.
Four-way grill in Soulsville, South Memphis.
Absolutely. And then we have to say Curry and Jerk.
Yes.
They have a new location now. They've gotten a little bit bigger so they can accommodate more people. So it's always nice to have the two of them as staples every year.
And Curry and Jerk is downtown now. So if people are placing things in their mind. I was looking at your list and I was like, I need to make, is there a map? I need to make a map that has all of them on there so people can just check them off.
I know.
And then a big thing this year that Daily Memphian food writer Jennifer Chandler touched on her Black Restaurant Week story a couple days ago was that 10 of the restaurants have opened in the last year. They're still getting their wings.
Yes,
so to speak.
I accommodate them. Yeah. I commend them on taking that leap of faith to still start a business in this economy. But again, people have to eat. So why not, right? If you know you have a formula, you have something that's distinctively going to help you stand out in the community, why not take a chance? And so I've seen a lot of that happen. It's like Memphis Jamaican Kitchen. What's really cool is that it's a husband and wife team.
Yes.
The wife is from Memphis. She met the husband in Jamaica, so full-blood Jamaican. He's been here, I think, the last 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
So it's just really cool to see that someone from a completely different culture sees value in creating a new restaurant in Memphis.
A fusion kind of menu, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything you recommend there?
Actually, I'm going tonight for dinner.
Okay.
So got to get jerk chicken, right? That's just a staple.
That's your favorite, right?
That is my absolute favorite. And I actually have some people requesting oxtails. So throughout the week, I'll be going up to get oxtails to take to some of my friends at work, just because.
That's really nice of you.
Thank you.
You really go out of your way for folks.
Gotta help support.
What are some of the other new restaurants that are trying to get the word out by being a part of this week?
I'm excited about Jay's Coffee and Cuisine. So they're in Millington, and I think sometimes we kind of forget about that neighborhood.
Right.
But what's very interesting, they took an old Danvers, and so it accommodates like 80 people. It's huge, right, for a Black-owned restaurant. So they have a really cool menu. They have, obviously breakfast items. They've got lunch items, and they're just a huge staple in the Millington community. So it's nice to introduce Memphians to them. So a lot of people are really excited.
Hey, y'all could go out to Millington to Jay's Coffee and Cuisine. I'm looking at their menu. They have General Tso's salmon.
Yes, right? It's
yum. It's different.
It's very different. It's not the same old, bacon and eggs. Not knocking that, but it's a bigger menu for sure.
Yeah. So go out there, load up on this. They got a turkey club. Nobody even does that anymore. I love a turkey club.
I know, right?
Eat that and then go to Shelby Forest. There you go.
I love that.
That's my idea.
And this is the perfect time of year, right?
Hopefully. Yeah. That's great. I'm looking through the list again, and so many of these I've had great meals at in the past. Slim and Huskies is a chain, but it's Memphis owned.
I mean, come on. It's a staple.
It's a staple. The cinnamon rolls.
Yeah. And the same, honestly, with Wing Guru, the Whitehaven location, right? They're a franchise, but another husband and wife team. The wife is from Whitehaven, so she saw value in creating something in her neighborhood.
I love that. Sage downtown, they still have the soul egg rolls.
The soul roll. I mean, come on. That's the best thing ever. So they've been with me ever since they opened. I want to say the past 6 years, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're great. There's too many to name. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll list them all through this podcast. But I did want to shout out the genre. That's one that I've always liked.
Man. That 201 sauce.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I'm a catfish girl. I grew up in South Mississippi, so I love a fried catfish.
Really?
And they have a good one over there. People can't find it. It's across the street from 201 Poplar, guys.
Yeah. I mean, right.
Just park in the little lot, pay $1, get you some
good catfish. Have you had the catfish at Sugar Shack?
No, I have not. Sugar Shack's on my list though because they've been open a while.
Let me tell you, my mother, I for her 70th birthday, she came to visit me in Memphis. She's a tough critic, okay? She cooks everything. She's a Southern girl.
Yeah.
She talks about that catfish almost once a month.
Wow. Okay.
I wish
that's
I could
high praise.
I got to get to Memphis to get some catfish. It's delicious. And I eat the sugar hot chicken. So they have this combination, obviously, of like a sweet and spicy sauce.
Okay.
The chicken never makes it to my house. I always eat it all in the car. It's so good.
That's how you know it's good. You're like, oh, it's good even cold out of the box.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I love that. This conversation is making me hungry, which is good. Love that for us. We're going to talk more about the restaurant week and the food truck festival. But speaking of great meals that have impressed you, what's the best meal that you've had recently out at a restaurant? If you can think of one, you have it already named.
Oh my gosh. I mean, so much delicious food.
I'll tell you mine while you think.
Thank you.
Yes. I went to Amerigo, East Memphis. Super comfy, classic. People forget about it.
I used to go there all the time.
It's just good Italian food, but they have random other stuff on their menu. I discovered the scallops Veneto.
Ooh.
And it's scallops seared, but they have a little bit of blackened seasoning.
Okay.
And it comes with like this white bean bacon, like it's kind of like a succotash, like a little bean salad.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
And it has walnut pesto all over it. I mean, it sounds like kind of healthy, but it's not. So it's really good. It's delicious. So that's really good, especially if you're with someone that's getting like a big pasta dish. Then you just steal bites of their pasta and eat your scallops. I don't know. Okay. That stood out to me.
So thank you for giving me time to think, because I have been eating a lot of food. And I feel like I was pre-gaming Black Restaurant Week last week.
Okay,
but
good.
Son of a vegan, she makes this vegetarian lasagna and this chocolate cake that's vegan. So first of all, when you think of chocolate cake, it has to be moist. It has the right combination.
Rich.
There we go, right? And I'm like, how is this chocolate cake vegan? It's the most moist thing I've ever had. So her lasagna and chocolate cake, amazing.
What does she put on her veggie lasagna?
You know, I don't even know. Just all the veggies, even the cheese. And I'm like, this is insane. Yeah. Everything is made from scratch. Noodles, all that.
That's so impressive. I love that. I gotta try that cake. Anything that you have cooked at home, or have you been like, no thank you, I have too much to do, because this isn't your only event?
It is not. Normally me cooking at home, I'm a pasta girl. So when you said Amerigo's, I forgot that used to be my spot when I lived out east. So a good shrimp Alfredo is really kind of my jam. I love to create that at home.
And that's a good one to make at home. So tell us about some of your other events. Some of them are food related, but not all.
Not all of them. So let's see. On March 30th, I have a Black Bridal Expo. This is my third time doing this event. And again, just trying to celebrate and highlight minority-owned businesses in the wedding industry space. Then I'm helping with the Juice Maine Health and Wellness Festival. So anything has to have Maine in it. You know it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be fun.
That's going to be April 5th at Tomley Park. I've never done anything at Tomley Park. So with all the renovations they've done, I think it'd be really cool to just get more people out to see the space.
Yeah, just learn about it.
Just learn about it, right. And then April 13th, again, 5 events every weekend. I got something, Holly.
Yes.
I have a Black Arts and Wine Festival that I do at Pink Palace. And I try to transport people to Napa Valley. So I like to utilize, and I know that's ironic, right? Memphis, Napa Valley. But using the outdoor space, you just have those rolling hills. And it just really feels like you're in a different space altogether. So.
Well, that is a full slate of spring events.
Just
from your company. That's, I love it. Okay, so one thing that I know has changed over the years with Black Restaurant Week is, like, you know, we went through COVID, we went through pandemic, we did to go. Sometimes people have a lot of specials.
Yes.
Sometimes they're doing their regular menu. What's the theme for this year?
So this year, everybody actually is contributing and doing some type of a special. One thing I can say in the past, it's always been the exact same special every day at every restaurant. This year, a lot of restaurants are playing around like, hey, it's a different thing every day, so you got to come back every day.
Wow.
So I love that they're challenging themselves to create really new, different dishes. But everybody is having a great promo this week.
I noticed that there's some like $15 lunch deals, $25 dinners, some things like that. to just help people, you know, like make things a little more accessible.
Exactly. And again, thinking about people with larger families, right? You want to make sure everything's economical for them as well.
That is a really good point. I want to remind our listeners that this is the Daily Memphian Sound Bites podcast. Today we're talking with Cynthia Daniels, the founder of Memphis Black Restaurant Week, event strategist, entrepreneur in Memphis. If you're listening on WYXR, keep on listening. We have the Daily Memphian CEO's Arts and Culture podcast, The Sidebar, is happening next. Just in case you missed it, if you went on spring break, go back and listen to some of our recent Sound Bites episodes. I talked with Josh from Bar Limina, that's going to open in the Edge District. I talked with Edible Memphis editor Stacy Greenberg. We got to chatting about do's and don'ts for owning, working in restaurants. That was fun. Josh Carlucci talked to us about his $10 deals and all things food writing. And then we had Wally Joe and Andrew Adams, chefs at Acre Restaurant. So a lot of great stuff this spring. And Cynthia, you're just adding to the goodness for Memphis food lovers. So what has changed since you started Memphis Black Restaurant Week in 2016?
You know, I would, number one, I would say the amount of restaurants that I'm working with. So the first year, we started with 8. And it took a lot of convincing, right? Think about it. Someone comes to you and says, I want to do this week-long event and help market and push your information out. So I had a lot of conversations, got a lot of mixed reviews, but 8 people definitely said, yes, we're on board. We're going to give this a try. So each year I added just a few more, but I feel like now that it's almost a staple and people expect Memphis Black Restaurant Week, I try to make sure I at least have 20. That way I can touch different parts of town. So that's really cool to see. I'm definitely seeing an influx of people travel from out of town.
Wow.
So we get a lot of people that are coming from Little Rock, a lot of people from Jackson, Tennessee, kind of during the week because they're kind of close and they can turn right around the same day. But during the weekend, people from all over Mississippi, people from St. Louis, Birmingham, it's nice to see they're driving all the way to Memphis for our food.
You're driving some tourism.
Yeah, some tourism. There we go, some tourism. So that's been pretty cool for sure.
That's really exciting. What has surprised you the most? Because I know it's a lot to manage, so sometimes there's some challenges.
It is a lot to manage, but I think what surprises me the most, I always love to know the restaurant owners why.
Yeah.
You know, what made you want to open up a restaurant? And so everybody's story is just so different and so cool. And I think it just helps to humanize and help people understand this is my why. And so getting that why out there, because think about it, on any other day, you just go, you eat and you leave. But now you know, man, I'm supporting this family, or this person's from Whitehaven. They felt it was important to come back to Whitehaven. So I'm going to drive all the way across town to now go to Whitehaven to support. So I think that's the biggest thing that I do love.
Yeah. And other people's passion, you share that, and then it just creates more and more and more.
Absolutely. And just, again, I feel like our path has been so cookie cutter with corporate America, but now there's so many people taking the leap of faith and starting an entrepreneurship. It's really cool to see.
It's really cool to see. And I think it sounds like a lot of Memphians and people from all over are supporting it.
I mean, even me, I had an HR background when I moved here. I was working in HR. It's crazy.
So how long have you been in Memphis now?
This is year 16, Holly.
Wow.
My plan was to be here only 2 years.
Famous last words. I was going to come to college here, and then now it's been, this year will be 20 years. August will be 20 years in Memphis.
It's something in the water, I guess, right?
It's tasty. I'll tell you that. What do you think is the biggest influence, or what are the biggest influences on people's dining choices? I feel like as people, I don't know, are people going out to eat less maybe, or they're making different choices? They're picking like less expensive meals, so when they do go out, it's kind of like there's more at stake, right?
Yeah.
How are people deciding?
You know, I feel like what I've seen trend, people like new. Anything new, we just have to go and check it out for ourselves. So I think that's the first thing. But I have to pivot over to social media. We are such a social media culture. So people eat with their eyes.
Yes.
So if you're the restaurant putting out all the cool videos and the up close pictures of the food, they just want to go based off that sometimes. It's not even the price point. It's, oh, they have this triple-decker burger thing. I want that today kind of thing. That's what I feel like.
I think you're right. I totally agree. I mean, not to mention like food influencers, like individuals.
Now, you know what? That's a huge change. 10 years ago, there was no food influencers out.
Yeah.
And another thing, I know I'm going backwards,
go for it.
but the only vegan option available year 1 and 2 was a side salad. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I can just say at least half of the restaurants have vegan options, and then you got Son of a Vegan that's 100% vegan.
Right.
Huge difference.
Vegan wings, quote unquote.
I know.
Vegan burgers.
The burgers. She has nachos, quesadillas. It's everything. Chicken strips.
Because veganism it's not, I'm not going to say a trend, but it's definitely a movement.
It is.
Yeah.
I feel like during the pandemic is when people paid more attention to what they were eating and just started trying out the vegan lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
And being conscious of how much meat you're eating, you know, and then that leaves enough for the rest of us that are still chomping down on all the meat.
Yes. I had my bacon today.
You got to have it. Again, you have a variety of restaurants that are offering all different kinds of cuisine. It's not just soul food. It's not just vegan. Pops, Drinks, and Sweets is one that was interesting to me in Collierville.
Yes. So story there.
Yes.
Jennifer Purnell, I've known her for years. She actually used to own September Nail Salon.
Okay.
So I want to say her son, they had an internship and they were in Utah, of all places.
Yes.
And
I know where this is going.
And ran across soda shops. Like, that's a whole thing out there. And so they go in, they fall in love, and she just kind of starts doing research and finds out how can I franchise and bring something like that to Memphis. Like, who thinks about a soda shop? And so she's telling me all these different mixes they have. Like, one is called a dirty Memphis Dirty. I'm missing. We'll have to get the story directly from her.
We'll get it.
But putting like creamers and things and sodas, I'm like, this is
a big thing.
It is. And then she added, the food component. You can get croissant sandwiches, which I guess pairs very well. And she has a crookie.
A crookie.
A croissant and cookie.
Okay.
And you can get it heated up. So, I mean, she had me at crookie.
I don't even understand. Is it like some kind of combination of the two?
It is.
Okay.
It literally looks like a croissant with like chocolate in it, which kind of a French, I guess, inspiration. I don't know. It
just sounds good.
It's just delicious.
Yeah, and if you want to have like non-alcoholic option, people want to have a soft drink, that's what they do there in Utah. So,
and we like custom things.
Yeah, we do. We do. Well, we'll have to try that one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me more about the Mahogany River Terrace. We're going back. We're going all over the place today because we have not had a restaurant there open to the public on Mud Island in that space for years and years.
I believe it.
I don't even know if there's been one since I've lived here. Probably, but it wasn't on my radar.
I believe it was probably closed by the time, because it's been closed like 20-something years.
Yeah.
They had to put a lot of love into that space.
That was really what I wanted to know. How much work did they have to do?
If I'm not mistaken, Carly McCullough, she's the proprietor. She put about, I think, 2.5 years.
Wow.
I mean, listen. First of all, there was carpet everywhere. Okay.
Oh, no.
A lot of brass. So to bring that brass back to where its original state, just the decor itself, the windows, a lot of the windows had cracks in them, and I think she had to get custom windows brought in. So it was a huge undertaking, but I know it's going to pay off. Every space is just so thoughtfully decorated. I actually ate at the White Bar for lunch. So there's a bar just all white in the middle of the restaurant. You got the main dining floor. It's three levels.
Wow.
So they have a huge bar up top. It's an amazing experience.
It sounds very classy.
It's going to be my new hangout for sure.
And their former location in East Memphis, in like Chickasaw, by the library, that Mahogany, it was also a classy joint, So this is
imagine that times like 100.
100.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about Sunday, kind of the finale. The Soulful Food Truck Festival, Tiger Lane. What times? How many trucks?
Yes.
What's the plan if I am showing up hungry, wide-eyed, I don't know what I'm doing?
Okay. So it's from 12 to 6, Tiger Lane. We're expecting great weather. We're looking at 45 food trucks.
45. So you're not going to try them all.
And there is a huge variety of food that we're going to have this year. We definitely have, your staples, your hot wings, and you got your catfish. I mean, that's just anywhere I go. I need hot wings and catfish when I'm going. But then we also have we have a French food truck. I have an Italian one, a few Latino themed. One is Slutty Salsa.
Yep.
Which, she's a fan favorite.
Slutty Salsa food truck, wherever, I follow them on Facebook, and wherever they go, she's like, we're sold out already.
Period.
Yeah.
So I already know she's going to sell out immediately. Yeah. So just that, we've got, oxtails, we got some soul food trucks. It's just a little bit of everything. My recommendation, number one, we post every truck on our Instagram. So it's soulfulfoodtruckfestival.com or the website. You can go and look at it there. I try not to overwhelm people. I mean, I'm really big on logistics, so I evenly map out the food trucks and the actual shopping vendors, so it's just you're not bombarded when you get there.
Yes.
But just take a moment. I would say walk around first. Don't just
take a lap.
Take a lap. That's the key. Take a lap, and plus that burns some calories, right? Because you're about to fill up on more. So
work up an appetite.
Absolutely. So that to me is the game plan. What I have seen over the years, people literally buy 5 or 6 meals at a time. Then they have friends in different lines. So they come together at the picnic tables, and then they kind of do like a food exchange.
Oh, yeah. They divide and conquer.
There you go.
And they have a feast.
You go to this food truck, you go to that food truck. Or literally, I've seen people come in, they go to about 3 food trucks, take all their food to the car. So I'm like, you're loading up for the week. I love it.
That's a smart idea. You don't have to eat it all right then.
You
can pick stuff that travels well.
Listen, if you try to get to at least 5 or 6, you're done.
You're done.
You're laying out on the grass at this point.
You're done for the week.
Right. And we even have vegetarian options there as well. So, and again, the soulful part, we're going to have live music every other hour. We've got a DJ every other hour. So it's always some kind of entertainment on stage, and then we've got stuff for the kids too.
And you're gonna have some drinks there too?
Well, not this year.
Not this year.
Typically Tiger Lane manages that component, but they're going through a lot of different changes over there, so it won't be any drinks, unfortunately.
So just show up with a good appetite, ready to shout out. And you have some shopping too, though.
We do have tons of vendors, a lot of artisans, a lot of people selling candles, jewelry, hats, everything, you name it. I literally just thought about the best thing I've ever had.
Okay.
So 18 Ways food trucks, they're there every year. They have fried broccoli.
Okay.
And, I was just like, why not? Best thing I've ever had. And it's not like even tempura, it is just hunks.
Yeah, what kind of batter? Is it like?
I can't even describe it, but it's not even like a heavy batter where you just feel guilty, but it's so crispy and crunchy. Like, I didn't know broccoli. If I knew this as a child, if I could eat it.
Game changer.
Game changer.
What kind of dip? You got to have a sauce, right? Or is it good enough?
It doesn't need any. That's when you know it's good, when you don't have to even put sauce on. Because we sauce it up in Memphis, right?
Yes.
We put sauce on everything. But no, it's delicious.
Okay, 18 Ways.
18 Ways. And you can't miss it. I always put them towards the back because he has like 30 flags going. Giant sign.
Yes.
You're going to see them from the entrance anyway.
Make a beeline for the 18 Ways. Get some broccoli. Take a lap.
Oh, yeah.
It all sounds so good. And I know that the business owners are grateful for you and your team's support.
Yes.
If folks have questions, let us know. Cynthia is all up on social media. She'll be happy to answer.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being here. That kind of is bringing us to the end, unless you had another last tidbit for us.
No, but I mean, I could do this all day. Like, you have been amazing to just talk to, Holly.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I love talking about food, and I love talking to you.
Put that on everything, Natalie. Producer Natalie's gonna make me look good. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's all the time we have today. Sound bites, people. Tune in on WYXR Radio every Thursday at 11. Listen wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes or Spotify, dailymemphian.com, all that good stuff. Thank you again, Cynthia. Y'all have a good one.